Okay, so I was asked to film a little bit of what I was doing. Now I'm going to show you where I had like, I don't know, 30 bags full of leaves. And I've used them, I've used them to plant my trees. This here is a compost and manure mix. It's the most expensive soil you get, but it was going to save me tons of time in mixing and all that. Anyway, so I have an apple tree. That's a Honeycrisp. I have a blueberry bush, and then I have a tree that has I think it has 2 plums, nectarine, 2 apricots, and a peach, and then another blueberry tree. And down here, I've got 3 cherry trees. I think there's a Bing down there in the corner. This one in the center is a Lappin's cherry, a Bing cherry, a Van cherry, and a black cherry. That's a Lappin's up there, and it's got much. If you look at the leaves, it has much broader leaves. They're almost as big as your hand, and he just got planted 2 days ago. He's still a little bit in shock. He still doesn't look like he's totally dried out or anything, so just continue to water him down a lot. This part right here that's indented, that's where I put the worms. And I don't know why that is. I think it's like they just start eating the dirt right away or something. I don't know. But every time I put worms into one of these beds, there's a sunken spot where I put them. And then yesterday, I planted this apple tree here, and this apple tree is a Chehalis Cosmic Crisp, a Gravenstein, a Zestar, and a Sunrise Magic Apple. So it's got different grass on there, and it looks like it's doing really well. Everything looks fine. We just gone through the hottest days, and it's doing okay. So I just continue to water it, and hopefully all these things will get settled in good enough to survive the winter and go into dormancy without dying. So here's what I still have left. I still have 5 more trees to go, but I'm running out of leaves. So I have a bunch of leaves that I put in one of my beds I was starting to fill, which I think I'll take those leaves out. I'm not ready to fill the bed yet. I'll have to do that next year. But I want a lot of leaves for the bed too. So at my parents' house, they have this big maple, and it gives you more leaves than you can use. But I'll take a mulcher with me over to my parents and mulch it down so I can put those in smaller bags. And I won't have to go through what I'm going through right now, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, so this apple tree right here, this has got 6 different apples, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's kind of, let's see, it's got a Liberty apple. So I think the Liberty apple is the lower level. Honeycrisp Semi-Dwarf is the middle level. And there's an Arcane apple as at the top. So I think it's 3 different kinds. This here, this one's not doing any good. There's a Sweetheart cherry, a Bing cherry, a Rainier cherry, a Van cherry, and a Stella cherry on this tree here. And then I think back here, I think this is a, is this my Rainier cherry? That's a Stella. Is this my Rainier over here? This is the Rainier cherry. So I have one Rainier cherry. He's leaning sideways, but I'll straighten him out when I plant him. Anyways, I'm running out of material to plant these. I could probably only do 2 more. And they're 10 feet apart, so I have 1, 2, 3, go 4, 5, 6, and I'll keep on doing that all the way in this bottom area. And when that's all filled up, then I will place some plants, place some trees up here. And I'll do it in such a way that they're on the edge so that you can walk over there or mow the lawn. But that there'll be trees here, and they'll have plenty of room for their branches. So I'll have I might have 2, and 2, and then 1 and 1. I don't know. But anyways, I got lots of room for more trees. And then in between, I'll have blueberry bushes. I got raspberries over here. Over here in the corner, I have a Italian plum. It's the first tree I planted. I planted that about 2 years ago. And I didn't do that right at all. I didn't put the right amendments in. Instead of 3 feet by 3 feet, is more like 2 feet by 2 feet. And yeah, I didn't do that correctly at all. Oh, I need to change the water. He's good in water. Get these raspberries going. Oh, wow. The first red I've seen on a raspberry. All right, they're getting ready. Get ready to have a little harvest here. So let me get this on spray. And then we'll just stick this in here and let it water the ground there a little bit. Give it a twist. Just let that go for a while. Alright, so I got a owl up here to try to just keep the birds from eating the blueberries or messing with the trees. And I got another one down there. It's laying on the side at the moment. Alright, so here's what I'm doing. And this is taking forever. And once I get these done, well, there's still the ones in the bed down there in the greenhouse, but I put in four shovels of leaf, and then 9 shovels of this. So it's really one part of each. The leaves, they made a pretty big shovelful. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I think I'm making my soup a little rich. That's what I call my mixture. But so I put in the bottom layer, I put in 1 scoop of, or 1 cup of, is that a cup? A little over a cup of soft rock phosphate. And then I take some azomite, and I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but azomite's just like ground up rock. It just has minerals and stuff. And then I fill it up about 3/4. Then I give it a dash of kelp meal, a handful of kelp meal, and then I just top off the rest of it with gypsum. Alright, so that's what I do in the bottom of each hole. And actually, the next one I do will be a bottom because I'm going to start a new one. But and then I do 1 foot of this, and then I mix it up. Okay. Mix that up. And I want to mix it until I can't see any of my amendments. I want it to all be one color, and I don't see any dark soil. I don't see any pile of leaves, and I don't see any white spots where the amendments are that I just put in. I want it to all just look uniform and all mixed together. The plant does not want to be bombarded by strong amounts of anything. So by spreading it out, it's always in a kind of a watered down, you might say, way. If you think about it like salt, oh, one thing I forgot too. And then I take a pinch of salt. I probably need more than that, but I just put a little pinch in. Of sea salt. Sea salt has like 95 essential nutrients, and it's in the right proportions. The ocean is perfect for all life. And the amount of one element in relation to another is perfect. God has given us a perfect soup, which he calls the ocean, for life to get all its nutrients from. So, but as you know, like if you put too much salt in your food, it's unedible. It's awful. But no salt is also equally as awful. But the right amount of salt is absolutely delicious. So I might be doing a little under. I don't want to do it over. Salt can stunt the growth. And I might be stunting the growth anyways, because I don't know my recipe is correct or right in all ways. That's what that looks like. But this is going to be a little noisy, so you might want to turn the volume down or off for a minute. But, so I get these bags, or I have these bags that I've had probably 2 or 3 years now sitting in the greenhouse waiting to be used for some reason or another. God has me get things and for when I need them, and I sit around, they're in my way all the time, but then when I need them, I'm so glad I have them. And he just had me take all my parents' leaves, so that's what I did. And now, this edge is a little bit crinkled and hard to see around. So what I do is I just start, if I throw these into this hopper right now, as they are, it'll just jam up. I gotta take it apart, jam up, take it apart, jam up, take it apart. So if I go ahead and pre-crunch them, just give it a squeeze, find a stick, pull the stick out. This hopper is not good with sticks. It's good for grinding up, but it's not good with sticks. And I have another machine, which is great for sticks, but it doesn't grind them small. And so both of these are in somewhat a useless machine, but together they work fantastic. So, anyways, so I just continue to crunch these and get it half mulched, you might say. And these are really, really dry. They'll just keep on going. And I just remove the sticks as I go. I'll mulch the sticks later in the other machine, then run it through this machine, and use it as a as a mulch. But this is going in the soil, and I don't want a bunch of mulch in my soil, but I do want leaves in my soil. You know, the tree spends all year, or all spring, sucking all these nutrients and minerals out of the soil to make all these leaves. And then we rake up the leaves and throw them out, and we don't return it back to the soil. And, you know, your yard survives, your tree survives, your lawn survives. But it would be so much more happier if you were to mulch these things, put them back into your lawn, put them back into your garden beds or whatever, and just assist in giving back to nature what is being removed, and everything will work out better. The more healthier your plants are, the less susceptible they are to disease, the less they're susceptible to insects, other things. Health is always the best preventative medicine. So, as I get to where I can reach, it's all pretty crunched up. And then I'll turn it around and just reach down the side and try to get some more. And then I'll just grab it and just flip it over. Get some of this uncrunched stuff up top. So, this takes a while. Wash your hands out a little bit. It's a lot of work, a lot of time. Thankfully right now it's really cooling off as the evening's coming in. But it's hot, miserable, dusty, dirty work. When I get done doing this, I go in the house and my shirt's just black, my face is black, there's rings around my wrist. My pants are just light brown, covered in this fine mist of all these leaves and the dirt that I'm digging. But what I'm doing today is going to pay off years and years down the road. And I don't know how soon Jesus is coming back. Come back next year. But let's occupy till he comes. We know there's going to be a time of trouble. We can't buy or sell. And if you haven't done any preparation, you don't have any trees or any money or any... money's not going to do you any good. If you don't have any way of making food or supplying your needs, you're going to be dependent on others, and others are going to be in just as bad a position as you are, and others are going to be better off. Except for those who took heed to the warnings of God and were decent men and women who don't rely on the government and others to supply their needs, but those who go out and work and earn their pay. Okay, so here I'm going to turn this on now. That's going to be a little bit noisy, so you might want to turn the volume down. So, I'm going to bore you too much to death. So anyways, when it goes in the hopper, it comes out just really nice and fine. And it'll reduce this bag down to half the size of that bin there, or whatever. Allows me to get more in the soil. Allows the soil to pack down better when I do plant the tree. Anyway, so that's the